Hey guys, welcome to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Kel.
Alright, we're here for the Sunday Backcap, Stage 2, Week 1. Hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. How you doing, Kel?
Doing good.
Right on.
Ready to talk about some of these really weird matches that we had this weekend.
Yeah, but they were fun.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A lot of them were fun. But first, let's, before we dive into the week, let's set some things that happened, between our last episode and now. We have my team doing what they do, and, the Mayhem decided, I don't know how to put a day late and a dollar short to go full Korean, and they released Manuel, which I've been screaming about since the end of last year.
Right.
Honestly, the roster-wise, I'm okay with mixed rosters. If they feel that that's the direction they need to go in, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. Why did you give a contract to McGravy 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, that's a really questionable decision because that prevented him from going and playing anywhere else, really, because now it just kind of screws him over. Yeah,
or play for a better team or whatever.
Yeah.
But someone will pick him up, probably contenders-wise, I would think, to start.
Oh, yeah. He'll definitely get picked up by a contenders team at the very least. I feel like there's a team somewhere that will probably give him a shot.
Yeah.
So they dropped Tavik, McGravy, and Apply.
Yeah.
Tavik, I
questioned that from the start. I mean, it's not that he's terrible, but
yeah, like of all the people you're gonna drop and then you're gonna keep Tavik. Like, I mean, he's not a bad player. He's pretty good in certain spots, especially, but it's just really questionable to drop him now.
Yeah, and we talked about this before the offseason, or when they started dropping players, we were like, they got rid of kept Tavik, but got rid of Manitin.
Right.
Who is still better than any off-tank that they have. Right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's better than Zephyr, and at this point, he's better than McGravy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And McGravy's definitely got a future, though. McGravy's going to be really good, and someone will pick him up, and he'll do well, I think. Watch, he'll end up like on Boston or something like that. You were thinking the same damn thing, weren't you?
Yeah, probably. Because why not?
But I don't know, man. So we have that, which, okay, as a Mayhem fan, and you can, obviously, you're a Browns fan. This is where the Browns were 2 years ago.
Yes.
And you're just, every minute, you're just going, what in the fuck are you doing?
I mean, at least with the Browns, they were pretty upfront of, like, we are going to basically gut this roster.
Yeah.
But, like, and I guess they're doing that, but they didn't do it halfway through the season.
Yeah. Or, like, basically, what it would be like in the NFL after 4 games, like, well, let's put the brakes on this. We need to get rid of, at that point, we need to get rid of Manziel, any of the other quarterbacks, and we're just going to we're going to pick somebody up off the waiver wire.
Yeah.
And
it's just really, it's so bizarre. I just don't understand the motive of this. Like, I get it if you want to, like,
I get it.
It's mostly the timing. Like,
yeah.
That's really the weirdest part, is, like, everything else, like, basically it's what we've been saying that they've needed to do since the end of last season, but why are you doing it now? Like...
Yeah, it makes absolutely no goddamn sense at all.
And it just makes me question, is it ownership? Is it management? Is it both?
Well,
I feel like it's probably management because, and this leads into our next topic, oh boy, what was their manager thinking
and,
in bare hands?
Oh my god. Dude, I'm a Raiders fan. I'm not even a Browns fan. I'm a fucking Raiders fan. You know how much that troubles me? This is like, goes back to, like, remember when the Raiders, was it Hugh Jackson and that fucking offensive line coach got in a fist fight?
Was that Hugh?
No, it was before Hugh Jackson. That's how Hugh Jackson got the job.
Oh, it was who was that?
Caleb. Was it Caleb something?
Might have been.
Oh, some super bro. Like, everybody you would expect to be an offensive line coach.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That guy. And he attacked Sleepy on his stream, which I didn't see everything that was said, but if there's not, and I see Sleepy tweeted something, I kind of like put pieces together and was like looking at it. Apparently he came in, said some things about strats, basically called Sleepy trash, which that dude's a good dude. Banner's even mad at this now. He's a good dude. Why would you attack Sleepy? I mean, come on, man. And then the apology, and it's like, then everyone, of course, he said, sorry, man, or something like that. And then, of course, everyone goes back at him, sorry, man.
Oh, I just found it. Tom Cable.
Tom Cable. I knew it was something like that.
Tom Cable and Randy Hansen.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Good old Tom Cable. Raider Nation. I'm a part of that now. Except for an Overwatch League form. Except for we don't even have a past. But that just adds to that literally adds to the mayhem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, he's a good general manager, but dude, really? Can you just
how are you going to go
up?
How are you going to go on a guy's stream like that and talk that way about him? Just everything about it was just handled so poorly and just in poor taste. Like,
yeah,
you are a general manager. You cannot do that kind of thing. Like,
it's
you are at a way higher standard than anybody else in any organization. Like, honestly, I feel like some of these general managers and stuff shouldn't even be streaming in the first place or on any players' streams. Like, there should be some kind of like thing with that. But
there's an unwritten code, I'm sure, in your brain going. Well, in most people's brains, obviously.
Right.
And then then you're trolling them. I mean, it's different if me or you troll somebody. Because we're not general managers. We're idiots doing a stream and talking about Overwatch League.
Right. Like, we're like, yeah.
And I wouldn't even do that.
Random dummies talking on Twitch or on YouTube or podcasting or whatever. Like, they're just, like, you're a general manager of, like, you're literally getting paid by, well, not Blizzard themselves, but by a franchisee of Blizzard. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you got to be way more professional than that. And it's just, I don't know.
That's the equivalent of, like,
very head scratching.
It's the equivalent of Brian Cashman going in the middle of an interview, like back in the day with Big Poppy, and calling him a feeder, steroid freak or something. You know what I mean?
Right, like calling him a steroid freak, or just going in and like just being like, "You suck, you beat us in this," like, or something like that. Like, what?
Can you picture that happening in anything else?
Absolutely
like, I don't even think.
Not.
And I don't know how the other esports are. I don't think that happens even in those.
Yeah.
That's just whack-ass, man.
Yeah, it's really, like,
my God.
I will not be surprised if they are looking for a new general manager in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, who knows? Well, I would definitely...
There's got to be some kind of discipline that's got to come down from it, at the very least.
And there's got to be a better apology than whatever... I mean, I understand, like, people talk differently.
Yeah.
You know, I'm different. I talk different than you, and however you want to, whatever you want to call it. But you got to do like some kind of formal look, man. I fucked up,
right?
And I didn't. I shouldn't have said that. And just like literally, like go back on a stream and say, hey, look, can you put me on? I just want to talk to you, and and just be contrite about it and fucking own up to it, and we're Americans like people who apologize and redeem themselves. You can do something absolutely stupid, and we'll be okay if you apologize. To a certain degree of stupid. I mean, I don't mean like murder or something like that. Sorry, I killed you.
Obviously. But it's so weird. But I mean, Florida also. They also finally made a good decision, but at, again, a really weird time, and they fired Mineral and Yeah.
I don't know how I would have kept because he didn't really have much of a. I mean, we're not inside of the organization watching them do what they do,
right?
But I didn't really get to see much of what he was doing. But Mineral just it wasn't working. And it hadn't been working because, in fact, he left last year halfway through. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was good when they were doing the Misfits Contenders and that, and was the Swedish World Cup team in 2017.
Right.
They were good, but it just the pressure here and his strategies and stuff. He was a little too lax.
Yeah.
It just didn't translate well into this league. And the strategies and there was no adjustment. The adjustments were not good. He was leaving too much into the hands of the players.
Exactly.
Which,
I mean, that worked out fine when they were Misfits and they were doing that. And, like, I get it because there's only so much a head coach could do at that point. But it's just not that way in the league. Like, you can't rely on your team knowing exactly what to do in certain situations. Like, you've got to be, like, I feel like it's similar to, like, as far as coaching, it's kind of a cross between, like, a baseball manager and an NFL head coach. Like, you have to manage all these different little things that are going on. You have to make sure your players are put in the best positions to play the best characters that they can play, but then also you have to make sure that their heads are in the right place too, because it is it's pretty much all mental with this game. So, like, if their heads aren't in the right place, then obviously they're not going to play very well. So that's a huge, vital thing for them.
Yeah, and some of the coaching things too that you could see when you watch them play is they don't know certain things.
Yes.
You know, there's certain teams that know exactly what to do, right when to do it, and they are so far away from that. My God, my dog is being insane right now. Sorry, guys, my dog is being a little weird. I don't know what's going on. Must be because it's 70 degrees out. Last week it was 40, so.
Right.
Anyway, to my point, but if you watch them with alts, they have no fucking clue.
None.
Like, none.
Like, anytime they tried to come out and try something different, or that was the thing, is they really didn't switch up many comps or really tried too many
except
different
for the May
approaches.
thing.
Every once in a while.
And I feel that was more Tavik
stuff.
I feel it's more Tavik and the players than it was the coaching going, okay.
Exactly.
Because if you watch Vancouver, even in this meta, all right, they play goats and they play like motherfucking maniacs, but you know what? They can switch on to McCree. They can switch on with Wrecking Ball. They can do those comps. They can do all this stuff. When things happen, they have a plan. They know exactly what to do when to do it. Florida was just like, we have the concept of goats. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And they just stuck to it, and like they basically just bang their heads against the wall constantly. Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see how they.
I want to see how this turns out.
All that. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm rooting for them. They looked better because, well, they were all speaking the same fucking language, the one that they grew up with this weekend. They still got curb stomped, but they looked okay on maps.
Right.
You know, they weren't speaking English, and they were 90% Korean roster anyway.
God. All right, so let's jump into the matches this week. So the big topic of discussion over just about everybody was the meta shift and how it's going to change. And it wasn't as dramatic as we thought it was going to be, but honestly,
it was more what we wanted it to be, actually.
Yes, exactly. Like, I'm very happy with how it is, because yes, we're still getting goats, but it is not the primary meta.
Yeah.
And honestly, there really isn't a meta so far.
Right. And
there's not just one comp that runs everything. Everything is becoming more and more situational of which character is going to work the best in certain maps and against certain compositions. And it seems like there's more and more strategy that's becoming necessary. Yeah, and that's very exciting.
It is. And one of the things is the map pool is a fantastic map. We got a great map pool for a meta shift.
We really did.
It was great seeing, because I mean, we saw like things. I mean, we kind of were like going, "Oh, this could happen." Excuse me, this could happen, that could happen. We saw things. We saw Soldier. We saw like a lot of Soldier. I was like, yes, finally. And I'm an old guy. I like the old guy with the fucking gun. I'm sorry, I just do.
I'm with you. I mean, Soldier's one of my favorite characters. He was one of the first characters that I put a lot of time in on this game, so it's fun having him back and see him play.
Yeah.
Again.
Because, everybody knows Soldier's kit. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, yeah, he does good burst damage. He got the Helix rockets. He's got mobility. He's got the healing, his healing soda can. I use the Grill Master one, man.
Oh, same.
That's the fucking best.
It's the best. It might be the best skin in the entire game, honestly.
Yeah. Well, that and the Cthulhu fucking.
Yes,
Zenyatta.
which I also use.
Yeah, exactly. But it was good seeing like different stuff, and I think this is going to like our point with I think we're going to start seeing teams like Chengdu. Chengdu has their own meta.
Yes.
I think we're going to start seeing teams have their team, composition like we talk about with football. Mm-hmm. All right, the Broncos are a run-heavy, vertical passing game, defense.
Exactly.
The Rams are, high-powered offense, high-speed defense. We're going to see that with these teams. Chengdu does the wacky shit. That works, and Vancouver just mashes everybody. Okay, those are one bad example, but like you could get into like Philadelphia. 222 is the best comp for Philadelphia because you have Carpe and EQO and all the guys that they have. Like Dive, like that kind of stuff.
Right, and then you have the teams like like New York. They're very defensive, very we punish your mistakes and we try to limit ours. I mean, that's kind of been their play style no matter what it's been, but I feel like they're going to be able to maximize that even more. And then you look at Vancouver, where they're almost the opposite, where like they are going to ram it down your throat until you stop them.
They're Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Until he gets knocked out, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
That was the thing with Mike Tyson back in the day. I mean, nobody did anything to him, then people would run away from him. That finally, that one Buster Douglas was just like, "Fuck this, man! I'm going in there and punching him right in the mouth." Mm-hmm. And
they just kind of get shocked and like, "Wait, what just happened?"
Yeah,
no one punches me.
It's kind of that way in the playoffs. It was like, "Whoa, San Francisco is not fucking around."
Right.
And they're one of the few teams right now that I think that could punch him in the mouth.
Yeah,
especially the way they played this week, because they lost and. Well, I mean, we'll get into it a little bit later, but they lost. They're way different.
So we went over what we didn't like about the meta shift.
Yeah.
Is there anything, or what we did like about it? Is there anything you didn't like?
Oh, fucking Bastion.
Yeah.
Fuck you. The bunker comp is the worst thing to watch in the world.
Yeah, everyone was complaining about goats, but
bunker comp's worse.
I will take goats over bunker comp any day of the week. Bunker comp is rough to watch.
And you know how much I hate fucking Bastion. I think it's...
Yeah.
People that main him, and if you main him and you're watching this, I don't give a flying fuck. They like sniff glue and listen to ICP, and then just hit right click in the middle somewhere. Drink Faygo.
Oh, man.
But no, that's the only thing I didn't like. I was like, ugh, bunker comp.
I'm with you on that. I think...
And I'm not talking the Orisa, like with the Widow and the Junkrat, because that's got some play. It's when you get the Orisa and the Bastion. It's the Bastion.
Get Orisa, Bastion, Baptiste. You get, who else runs
Torb.
Torb.
I mean, I like...
Well, no, they don't really run too much Torb with that. They run more... They tend to run either like a Widow or some kind of flanker.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Like, I do like that part of it. But, yeah, it's rough to watch, and it was just not...
And I'm disappointed we haven't seen any Ashe.
Yeah. She's about the only character that we did not get this week.
Which you would think she would be decent enough against Bunker.
Right.
With the dynamite and stuff.
Right. Like, that's what I figured. Like, if you time it right and get that dynamite on them while and then shoot down the invincibility thing, like, you could really mess some people up. Yeah.
I did like the amount of Wrecking Ball we saw, too. That was good.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of Wrecking Ball.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Really, my only complaint is right there with you. Like,
the Bunker comp was just, it's dreadful. Especially when you get, like some of those ones where you're getting double Bunker-ish kind of things. You're just like, okay, two Orisas shooting at fucking shields.
Right.
Thank God we don't have Ilios.
Oh, God.
It'd be, well, I don't know. I just
Actually,
don't like...
probably make it a little more fun, because there's at least the
McCree. Yeah, you got McCree. That's the one good thing now with that ult that McCree has. It just fucking absolutely annihilates the fucking the bunker shields. Like, bye. Boom.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to hate. I think they're making progress, and I feel like it's going to, like, it's just going to continue to evolve. Like, I'm really having a hard time seeing there being any one set composition that, like, completely dominates.
Yeah, me too. And it makes, what I like is, it makes these guys think.
Yes.
It's not rock, paper, scissors. It's, okay, so, like, for instance, the one I keep going back to is, which I've been weird with, sorry, I've been weird with Chengdu. Apparently my feet are doing something weird right now.
They're near him.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, he's stop, dude. Now he's gnawing on my hand. Jesus Christ. So, anyway, what I was saying is like, one of the things was Chengdu, and one of the things that makes me like them a little bit more was that sim strat that they did on Hanamura.
Yes.
Where they teleported everybody into the side door.
So good.
And by the way, all the guys saying it's a diamond and below strat, it's not, because diamond and below, everybody's sitting in the door.
Yeah, exactly. Like the sim is like putting that to like just to go straight to the point, or like just barely through the choke point, and you're just gonna come out right into the open. You might get through, but if your Orisa is fast enough with the shield or whoever, like.
It's actually harder in the pros.
Yeah,
or easier in the pros than the lower, if that makes any sense.
Because they know not to walk into a room where 6 people just went into.
Yeah, well, and also people in lower ranks don't understand what high ground is.
Yes.
So everybody's parked in the door.
Mm-hmm.
So getting the teleporter past 6 people, or having it up long enough where they don't just annihilate it because you're actually in their face with it.
Right.
But it's like things like that. I'm like, okay, I'm loving this meta. Or non-meta, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I'm sure there'll be a point where there's going to be a meta. So let's shift to, we're kind of calling this the... It doesn't make sense. The good, the bad, and the hunters. It should be the hunters, the bad, and the ugly. Or the hunters, the justice, and the mayhem, if you want to go true to form.
or actually, if we really want to go all out, it should be the hunters, the outlaws, and the mayhem. Even though the outlaws didn't even play this week, still wanted to throw some kind of...
Yeah, gotta throw some shade.
Some jab at them, for sure.
Raucus died somewhere, didn't he?
Raucus is feeding. In his own soul.
Raucus is feeding. No, he didn't play. Oh, he's still feeding.
Oh, God.
Actually, anyway.
The team that really impressed me the most this week, even though they had a really easy schedule, was San Francisco.
Yeah.
Like,
they're on a mission, man.
Holy crap. this team, like, they didn't just beat the Valiant, like, they stomped them into the ground. Like, I've never
beat them like
seen
children.
That was just a savage beating.
That was bad. That was as bad as any of those New York Shanghai or New York Mayhem matches from last year. That was
worse. It might have been worse.
That was just, you're watching the first, and I felt bad for the Valiant. I'm like, oh man, San Francisco is not letting off the hammer on this one.
Yeah, they are just not fucking around on this.
No, and wow, they're just, like I said, mission. They want what it is. The mission is they want to beat Vancouver because I mean, Vancouver is cocky, and so are they. So it's like you got the two big bros on the block that think they can beat the shit out of everybody and have pretty much done that. Mm-hmm. They want to go toe to toe.
Exactly, and then again they showed the same thing today against Guangzhou.
What's with Guangzhou? We'll talk about them in a minute. But damn, dude,
they're going to be on the opposite side of the spectrum. But yeah, I mean, they just mashed in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I mean, Guangzhou had a few moments here and there, but there was never a moment where you didn't think that San Francisco was going to win, or was going to lose.
No, not at all.
They were just in complete control the entire time, and they just looked like a juggernaut.
It was worse than watching Vancouver play with their food.
Yeah,
so to speak, as Monty put it today. After they fucking clapped Hangzhou on Kings Row.
Yeah.
Woof. But, I mean, San Francisco really, really impressed me.
Yeah, for sure. Who did you like this week?
Actually, I liked Boston this week, man.
Yeah.
Boston's got a nutsack, man. And they played unbelievably. I don't know if they play like the Patriots. Like, they're down at halftime, and then they come out, and it's like, game over. Thanks.
Like, oh, you thought
you were winning?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think they played phenomenally this week. I mean, 2 reverse sweeps in 1 week, and I mean, when they punched back, they were throwing haymakers.
Yeah, and I don't know how are they so coordinated with RCK already?
I don't know. RCK was looking phenomenal this week.
Yeah, and that match with them in Toronto was probably the best match of the week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one.
Even the maps that they lost, it wasn't like Toronto was slapping. Well, maybe the first map Toronto kind of slapped them around a little bit, but the most of the match though was pretty damn close.
Right. I mean, we're going to talk more about that match specifically in a bit, but just Boston in general, they are never out of a game, and I mean it's similar to what they did last year, and it's just there's something that they have with their culture that they've built.
Yeah,
that it doesn't matter the players that are on the team.
It's the system.
They have an amazing system, and I have to give props to Huck and everyone involved in that team, management-wise and coaching-wise, because they have just built a phenomenal organization as far as building up players, putting them in the best position, and getting them to do their jobs.
And they're always prepared, it seems. They might, what are they on, a 2 or 3 reverse sweep streak?
Something like that, yeah.
But they always are prepared, and they don't get buried. I mean, unless there's certain teams playing them, but that's pretty much everyone right now.
Yeah. Unless they're going up against those top tier teams, they are never out of the game. But even when they're playing against those teams, they're still fighting and really trying to fight back and punch back at them. Yeah,
and I mean that was my take. That was my team this week that I was really impressed with. Yeah, and I mean I could say Chengdu, but that was more like just laughing, going, how the fuck are these guys doing this shit? And people are just they startle people. It's like
Yeah.
But they're good at it. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad. Like,
No.
Paris had no fucking clue what they were getting into.
No, they were not. And yeah, that was another team that had a very
Up and down. They looked better, though.
Paris. Yeah, they did look a lot better, especially against Guangzhou.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't count them out necessarily.
No, I think they're in like Outlaws territory right now. Like
there's
maybe
a lot
a
of
little
teams,
bit better.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are in Outlaws territory where you're like, what in the fuck? What are you?
Right.
And should we get into that? We need that Who song playing in the background, actually.
Well, actually, no. We should highlight our teams that we thought took a very steep drop and did not play well this week.
I gotta go with. Go ahead. You go first.
I was gonna say Guangzhou.
Yeah.
Because my God, did they just look horrendous in both games? I mean, obviously the second game was a little bit more like you can understand it a little more just because San Francisco is on a mission and they are on a completely different planet than any other team other than probably Vancouver right now.
Right, but even some teams that play Vancouver, they're playing well. They're just getting outplayed.
Right.
There's a difference between playing like, gutter trash, like, and everyone, like, including me and you, were like, well, they're more of a DPS-oriented team. They have all these guys. You have Hotba doing all this stuff. Mm-hmm. You have Eileen. You have Happy. You have a good support line.
I really thought that they were going to thrive in this, and they are just not.
No. That's it. Going back, I think it's going back to some of that communication stuff that I thought seemed a lot better than I expected, and they were just bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful. And it wasn't even just, like, on the surface awful. Like, if you look at, like, even when they played GOATs and things like that, their ult economy was terrible. They were, like, fucking blowing grabs and just, the timings with bubbles and all that stuff. I'm like, what did you guys do in a week and a half?
Yeah, it was rough to watch. Yeah. And just across the board, like they looked completely lost from top to bottom. Like there was just no coordination. They were getting outplayed left and right. Especially that Paris game. Like Paris straight up embarrassed that team.
Yeah,
they did. That's not good because Paris is decent, but they're not that good considering they got crushed by Chengdu. So
well Paris did switch some things up. I liked Cloudy in there better than Ben Best.
Yes.
I like some of the roster switches they kind of were doing there. I thought those were better, and if they keep working with that lineup, I think if they're not going to be above 12 in my book, but.
I think one of the things that Guangzhou really needs to do is they need to pick their lineup and just stick with it. They need to go...
And rotate DPS occasionally.
Yeah, occasionally, but honestly, I feel like they're switching their DPS a little too much. Like, going between Eileen and Happy and...
Kib?
Kib, yeah.
Yeah. But they're rotating them a lot.
Yeah.
It's not like sometimes where you see like other teams like say the Gladiators like last year. So most of the time you had Surefour and Hydration, and then they would switch Asher in if they had like a Tracer heavy map. Mm-hmm. They need to do stuff like that.
Yeah,
instead of just this constant rotation of guys in and out, because it screws the other guys up.
It does.
More than it.
No one can really get in a rhythm.
Right, because especially if you end up going back to a thing like GOATs, like if you're doing one of those maps that's point to point, and you're used to playing with X player on Zarya, and the other guy is in there for a specific reason, and he can't switch him out, but his Zarya, he plays Zarya differently than the other guy. It totally fucks up what you're doing.
It does. And it's, Guangzhou was my big disappointment this week. Who is yours?
I'm gonna have to go with the ATL.
Yeah.
Oh man, they look terrible.
They looked really good in those first 2 maps against Boston.
Okay, yeah. And then
from then on, the whole rest of the week, the wheels completely fell off. Today they looked like hot garbage against London.
Like, today they looked worse. Against Boston, they looked... The first 2 maps looked good. They looked kind of okay in the rest of it.
Right, like they were still hanging in there, and there was definitely chances that they had to win. There was a few miscommunications and just some bad
basic
plays
bullshit
here and there. But like today, like they were just not getting anything done.
London absolutely curb stomped them, and London's terrible with some of the metas that are going on here. But
that's the thing is this,
and I think
the changes are very much benefiting London because now you get Gesture
on the monkey.
Winston, and he's probably the top Winston in the league. Like,
you forgot about that, everybody.
The dude's insane on Winston.
And then
his
Prophet
Reinhardt
plays
is
things
mediocre at best.
And Prophet plays things he likes to play.
Exactly.
And I think the thing with Atlanta that everybody's discounting with DeFran is I think he brought a lot more to the team.
Yeah.
As far as leadership. And, everybody thinks of DeFran as this, this entity that, let's go, dude. But I think he's more of a leader than people want to give him credit for.
Oh, because the dude is so smart. He knows, like, he plays this dumb character when he does these things, but he knows so much about the game. Yeah. His game sense is insane. Like,
he learned Sorry in, what, 2 months?
Is ridiculous. So, like, losing a guy like that is going to be a huge blow to your team, no matter what.
And I think he was a morale booster, too, but as much as people don't want to believe that.
Right, because they think that, he's got the negative attitude and all that, but he was very much a huge factor in this team.
Oh, yeah. And I just think that his loss, and I'm not saying, Baby Bay actually looked decent. Although every grab that he fucking had today got eaten by Fury.
Yeah, well, Fury was just... He was a man on fire today. My God.
Yeah. It's like, all of a sudden they're like, yeah, okay, we're comfortable with this. Let's go. I mean, I could have thrown London in there for the team that I was impressed with the most, but, but Atlanta needs some
They look good,
shit.
but I want to see more from London to really crown them again because they burned us before. Because you know what? They didn't look that dominant or that great against Florida.
Yeah. Well, who knows with Florida?
Right.
Yeah, like the first map, they lost the first map to Florida, which...
No, they won the first map, they lost Hanamura.
Oh, they lost Hanamura, that's right.
And they freaking tied on Eichenwald, which I wanted to bring that up, because it's just like, I love how they flipped everything, or they flipped the map sequence to avoid
there's been 2 ties on Eichenwald.
Oh, hey, we got a tie.
No, there's been 2 of them, anyway. I think. There was another tie today.
Oh, yeah, there was. No, there wasn't today.
Or was it Saturday? I don't know. I thought there was another tie on Eichenwald. I mean, if, someone can comment.
I'm looking. I don't see that there was any, but yeah, even still, like, I think there was a tie.
I'm thinking of Toronto, Mayhem, Philly, and Mayhem had to get I don't know, one of those. Maybe it wasn't that one. There was one of them where someone had to get a tick and they held them. I don't know. Until like the last minute. But
yeah, it was still like
Atlanta. There was just some things with Atlanta. Like Popo did not look good today.
No, Popo looked. He did not look good at all this week. I feel like he's kind of one of their weaker links right now. Yeah. Because his Reinhardt is decent, but it seems like his Winston is very much lacking.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these guys are rusty on Winston, and DPS players and all that kind of stuff. I think they're all kind of a little shaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just... That was baffling. I didn't think they were going to be setting the world on fire, Atlanta. But I thought they would just be like, okay, we're just going to roll. We got Baby Bay. We're going to, we have another DPS player. We're going to be okay.
Right.
But they were not.
And I do think, obviously, I feel like next week they're going to have a bounce back week because they're playing the Valiant and the Justice. So they can really come back and kind of put themselves in a better position again. But yeah, it's not looking good.
No.
For Atlanta right now.
Holy fuck! Sorry, it's the Mayhem. The Mayhem Philly match is on, and I just watched the Mayhem run through a minefield.
Oh God! So I'm looking through Atlanta's schedule right now, and they have to play New York twice this stage.
3 and 4?
Probably. That's about what we're looking at.
I didn't look deep in their schedule. That's bad.
Yeah, so they're probably going to miss out on the stage playoffs, but I feel like they can come back in stage 3 and kind of get things together after maybe some kind of roster adjustment here and there.
And don't forget, we're gonna have a long break too.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we have a month.
It's
or
close
3
to
weeks.
it because it's like it's 3 weeks because the middle week is the
All-Star
playoff
game.
or the All-Star game.
Yeah. Which, all right, we're gonna interlude here for a minute for a brief second. All-Star talk.
Oh yeah.
The All-Star rosters look atrocious, guys. Please vote not like idiots.
Oh my
for
God!
the love of God.
What
Stop
in the
voting
hell?
Stop voting for Ark and Pine. They haven't played.
Like, please vote for
And the Pacific roster should not be all Chengdu.
Right?
For the love of God.
Well, aren't there some Hangzhou players on there too? It's
Gushwei's on there.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Gushwei. All right. Are you going to vote Gushwei or Super? Or Bumper?
Yeah, exactly. You know who's not in either of those? Yeah, is Gushwei, Bumper and Super are not even cracking the top 10 right now in votes.
That's because all of you damn Houston fans are voting for your boyfriend, Muma.
Oh my God, right?
And Cool Matt. Please stop. Please stop. All right, I will give a special dispensation to Ame.
Yes.
Because he's doing weird shit.
He's doing weird shit, but he's doing it well.
Yeah.
And no matter what character that dude has played, he's been a beast.
Yeah.
In the little bit that we saw of his Reinhardt, he was a monster. So
yeah,
I will
Yoda Chad as the kids call him.
He is really the only or the biggest guy that is deserving of getting the praise. So that one I'm fine with, but
Yevtul, come on, man.
Come on, Bacon Jack, really? Did you see him on Widow today? Because it was not very impressive.
It was okay.
Exactly, but that's not an all-star.
That's not an all-star, especially when you have so you have Yevtul, Bacon Jack, Jinmu almost can get first stage. Yes, the voting stops on the 28th, so you're going to vote for Yevtul instead of somebody like say Izayaki. Mm-hmm. Because it's just support, right? It's not like flex. Or if it's regular support, right. Moth. Hello?
Moth. Or...
Slime.
Violet. Yeah. Slime. Twilight. Holy God, Twilight. Can we talk about him for a few seconds here?
Fucking murdering people today.
Holy shit. His Ana was absolutely disgusting on Hanamura.
So was... Yeah. There was a couple guys, but him and Jonak were just please, you're giving me nightmares.
Right? I love it. I love more Ana play. That's what I want so bad from this.
Now I'm all in on give me more of give me the ball. I want to see people play the ball.
That too.
I'm getting better at the ball. I just, watching, actually watching Ameng and watching, actually, there's a couple other guys that are pretty... Actually, who's pretty good? Muma. I said something good about the... Said something good about the fucking Valiant. Or not the Valiant. Okay. So, here's here's our Pacific.
When we compliment them, we can't even get their name right.
Fucking outlaws.
Outlaws, I love it.
All right, so here's your Pacific Division leaders. Rujie Hong, Fleta, Yevtil, Jinmu, Ameng, and Gu Shui. Yeah, the silence.
Yeah. My God.
Rujie Hong almost. Fleta maybe. But I can't vote for Fleta over Sinatra.
Rujie Hong is questionable considering the other
five
supports that are better
Same
than
thing
him.
with Yevtil.
Yeah.
You're a Pokemon guy. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yevtil? I think so. I don't know. I barely
That's like
played
a generation.
like half of those.
That's
like 3 generations after I really stopped playing.
Yeah.
But,
Jinmu almost, like I said.
Yeah.
Ameng definitely. I would definitely put Ameng on there.
Yeah.
Gu Shui's questionable.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. Gu Shui's not even 4th. Because this is what I would. For me, it would be Bumper, Super, Oj, Gu Shui. Yeah. Fleta, he's 3rd behind Sinatra and Suminsu.
Yeah.
The East is a little better. No, maybe. Well, all right. The East, the leaders are Jonak, Arc, who didn't play, Carpe, right. Pine, who didn't play, Poco, and Fusions.
Okay, I mean that's a little better, but
I can deal with
still not great.
I can deal with Jonak, Poco, and Fusions.
Yeah.
Maybe Carpe. But I would have Nene in there. Main support, I'd have Masa.
Yeah, oh God, what a mess.
I know. Don't leave.
Why is Pine there? I love Pine. He's one of my favorite players, but he is not an all-star. He hasn't even played. He hasn't even played a map yet.
Well, one of the stipulations is if you were an all-star last year, you're on the ballot this year.
Oh, of course.
That's why him and Ark are on there.
Right. Like, why? Come on.
Come on, man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was weird all-star talk in the middle of that. But, yeah, guys, please be responsible.
Go out and vote.
And vote the right way. Yes. Please don't make this league a fucking meme.
Yeah, no kidding. All right.
I mean, they have coaches and player voting too, but for the love of God, the starting lineup should not look like that.
The right guys will get in there, but
we're trusting you guys to do this.
Right. All right. So let's dive into our best matches of the week. Which one do you want to talk first?
Let's talk Boston-Toronto first.
Yes. Okay.
That was a fantastic fucking match.
It really was. Oh my God.
Every minute of that was just... Even the maps, except I think the first map was not great.
No, it wasn't. But
Toronto came out and kind of stomped them. Then we got... The second map was Hanamura.
And it was a little more back and forth.
Yeah. Bastion.
And Toronto just had a really good hold on the second point of Hanamura on the second attack.
And they were just pulling some plays out of their ass.
They really were.
And you know what, too? In a couple other matches, too, you saw the value of Baptiste. Especially in maps like Hanamura. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's one of them. What the hell one was it? It was it was Boston. Was it? Yeah, it was Boston where, and Toronto was on defense. Neko was playing, and he's an amazing Baptiste, by the way. If you want to learn something about Baptiste, watch Neko, especially. Yeah.
Any support that Neko plays, watch that dude, and you will learn so much because holy crap, there's not a support that he's bad at.
But there was and they timed it perfectly because they were running a Hanzo into a bunker comp, and he literally took 2 steps back and through the immortality field, and the dragons missed him literally by he could pet them as they were going by.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, but that was just a good overall match because, well, you had the comeback. I mean, and we're Toronto fans. I'm like way in because my team is such hot garbage. I don't even know what to do with them. But
honestly, the biggest thing that we touched on a little earlier with Boston is that their integration of RCK has been incredible already.
It was flawless.
They have not missed a single beat with him.
No.
And his style of play on Diva, and then especially his Sombra, has made a huge difference for that team. And you really started to see that on Eichenwald.
Because
his Sombra was just so disruptive, and anytime you thought Toronto was going to get an edge,
he would have
he
EMP.
was there. Yeah, he'd have EMP, or he would get a really key hack. Yeah, he was just on point and just making a huge difference for that team.
Yeah, he was. And it's not that, Toronto had they were 1-1 this week, and it's not like they played bad. It's just, it was one of those, they didn't play bad, they got outplayed. There were a couple parts where that maybe they could have done better, and to me it seemed like it wasn't the parts with the DPS, it was the parts with the goats where they were kind of failing.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they ran such a tight, really clean goats comp when they would run it. It's they did. There's a couple of bad grabs by Ivy, which you didn't see too much of.
Right.
Him doing the bad grabs. And Envy didn't play. They were harassing Envy too, because they're not dumb.
Yeah. No, they know that Envy he's the backbone of that team, and the more you can disrupt him, the better.
And the more you have a chance when you're playing 3-3 to get your grab off.
Exactly.
They did really good. Boston does, and they did this in a couple other matches. And Yakpung is, by the way, his Hammond is pretty sick too.
Yes. His Hammond is very good.
What Boston does really good, especially when they're playing 3-3, is they get the Reinhardt separation.
Mm-hmm.
They do that so well.
Yeah, their coordination of booping him and then
destroying,
and then picking off whoever gets displaced or is not behind protection anymore. They're just so good at that. Yeah,
they're good at displacing the tank coordination, especially the front line with Diva. Mm-hmm. And even if they're running, they ran Winston goats a couple times, they did a good job of just not letting them do the Winston Diva kind of dive thing.
Yeah,
they were just on point with it, and I was really impressed. And I thought RCQ was good anyway.
Yeah, same.
But maybe this is a better place for him. It's a better play style for him. I don't know. They look good, and their DPS guys look great too.
Yeah, and just the fact of how close it went down to the wire, starting with Eichenwald, and then the defense that Boston had on Rialto was absurd.
That was ridiculous.
That was one of the one of the best defenses I've ever seen.
Yeah. By far. And
just completely impenetrable. Toronto could do nothing to get past that corner.
Oh, no. That corner's hell anyway.
It is.
But Boston just absolutely shut it down. And, I got to give props to them. And you know what? The map 5, that was one of the best last maps, control maps. Because there were 2 times where Boston had them at 99. Toronto flipped it, and they took 1 on Legion.
Right, and brought it all the way back.
There was one I think they had it 99-20. And Toronto took it back and took, I think it was,
it's Garden.
Yeah.
They were up 99 to 31%.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that.
The attack that Toronto came in with was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
To hold that, and then
the new guy
hold of that and to win that point. Envy had probably one of the most clutch plays I've ever seen.
Oh, Envy's just clutch.
Like to eat that grab from Color Hex.
And that grab had to happen.
Yeah. They absolutely needed that was what Boston had to do to win that map to seal it.
And it was like IQ 9, well, not really IQ 9000. It was I know what's going to happen here. I'm taking care of this. You guys just sit there and do what you do. Oh, and by the way, we didn't talk about Toronto's new acquisition, IM37. Who looked really fucking good, actually.
He really did. That was a very good pickup for them.
Yeah. The speed run guy.
Yeah.
I'd like to, and one of the guys, I think it was Jay-Won, who's like the GM, is like, well, he's going to have my job in a week the way he's going, and then he's going to own the team in about 2.
Yeah.
Because I guess in January or February he was on Tier 3.
Right.
And then he was in he was there for 10 days, and then he went to their academy team for 10 days, and well, now he's here.
Yep.
He's
crazy.
He's a really good DPS player. Man.
He really is.
I was like, well, they didn't pick him up when we were talking earlier in the week, so I mean, we were assuming they were going to run Asher, which they ran Asher a couple times, and he's fine.
Yeah, he was okay, but I mean, when you got a guy like him, you want to run him.
And he's actually the only guy that's bigger than Bumper.
Yeah.
Like, as a human.
No kidding.
He's like 6'3".
He's huge.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think that once he gets worked in, I think that's going to be great. I think, they lost, but I want to put Boston in the mid-table all the time, and everybody does, because you're like, you look at the roster and you're like,
right.
But then they just win.
Come out and do that. Yeah, it's ridiculous, and it's not even like it was last year where they're just getting carried by Striker.
Yeah, or the Dreamcasper in Stage 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just a weird. And it's not like these guys have been playing together. Like, you can't make the excuse of, they've been playing together all year. No.
No.
I mean, they flipped their main tank out.
They literally just joined this team less than a week ago.
I mean, they flipped their main tank like 2 days before the season started.
Ridiculous.
Or after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a really good match. Let's jump into the other match that was phenomenal, and that's Gladiators versus Soul. Oh, crap.
Oh, the Reverend got killed. In his reverence. That's not how the story goes. So apparently, Monte Cristo's right. It's not anime. It's not even really a story at that point.
So it started off on Oasis. Soul just dominated. The Gladiators they barely got even any percentages.
Yeah, I know, and I was like, ooh, Soul's gonna fucking
rough.
GG this one.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Soul's got a lot, and then I was like, Soul's got a lot of confidence. Man, they're gonna. And then Fisher was like, doing Fisher things. He hard carried them through that whole match, though, it seemed like to me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was on fire the whole match.
Yeah, I mean, the Gladiators only had 22% on the second point, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like, they got stomped. Like, Soul was just firing on all cylinders. Everything was going right for them in that part. Then it got to Paris, and the Gladiators flipped it on them, and their defense on point B was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I still don't like Paris. You've been watching these guys play it.
Yeah.
I mean, they give and it's one of those maps where the Gladiators actually probably did the best job of anybody on this.
Yeah, I gotta say, Hydration really impressed me on his Junkrat.
Yeah.
and running that lineup of Surefour, Roar, Decay, Big Goose, Shaz, and Hydration. I was not expecting that lineup to do as well as it did. And getting to see Shaz play some Ana, phenomenal.
Watching anyone play Ana has been amazing.
Right. I mean, we got to see the OG Ana god, Rouge Hong, play Ana, so, I mean, I'm cool with that, too.
Yeah, and then his Dark Apprentice.
Right.
He is totally Anakin Skywalker without the whining.
He really is. But Decay, I think, probably impressed me the most with his Sombra play on this map.
Oh, yeah. Decay was
played phenomenally.
Sombra's... I like Sombra because... And I've been saying this since last year. If you're worried about these damn things, just play Sombra.
Yep.
And I know people that, like, especially guys in the league, they hate Sombra, and it's like, oh, this and that. Like, Sombra fixes a lot of problems.
She does.
And especially
100%.
when they're on that level. You know, it was just... Decay was unbelievable.
He really was.
There was a lot of good Sombra play this weekend, too. And I'm just happy to see it. And I don't care. People can hate me. She's a necessary character when you have all of these cooldown ability-driven characters. Mm-hmm. And where she fails is against guys like Soldier and McCree.
Yeah, exactly. Well, also the wonky comp that the Gladiators used to win Paris was not expected. I mean, you basically switched out the Diva for Reaper.
Yeah.
Which I don't think anybody saw that coming as like an effective strategy. Because they just rolled.
Yeah. Reaper's just not effective except for in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
well, they also had Shaz on Moira as well, which we don't see a lot of.
Yeah.
It's that's the standard GOATS comp in ladder, but you don't really see a lot of it in Overwatch League, so it was really surprising to see that be as effective as it was.
Yeah, I know that one, and that was one of those things where I enjoy seeing Moira, because I think some people forget the amount of healing she can actually dump into especially into a close quarters. Not even like GOATs, like something where you're running a tight comp where you're going in like with a Reaper and a couple of tanks or whatever. She just absolutely kills it.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So yeah, the Gladiators just dominated Paris. I mean, their attack took like 5 minutes, if that.
Something like that.
In total, it was ridiculous. Then it went on to King's Row. And this was another just phenomenal defense from the Gladiators.
Yeah, they're really good on King's Row.
They are.
At least it feels that way. I'm probably totally wrong, and someone will correct me on that, I'm sure.
Right.
But it feels like anytime they do anything like phenomenal, it's on King's Row.
Yeah.
Like when they did the switcheroo there, and fucking Surefour killed everybody from the spawn room.
Right.
That was on King's Row.
So good.
Yeah.
Still one of the best plays in the league ever.
Yeah, it is. The defraying grab over the roof, though.
Oof, yeah, that one's definitely
that
right
one's
up
not
there.
going away ever.
No.
I mean, other esports actually acknowledged it as the play of the month. So, like the esports awards.
Yeah.
It wasn't someone going ham on fucking CS:GO or
right
doing something in LOL that I have no idea what they were doing. Anyway, I'm not railing those games. I just don't know what they are.
Right. But yeah, the defense that the Gladiators had on that last point was just ridiculous. They held really well on the first point as well, but Soul just was barely able to crack through.
I think that's kind of the key for a couple of these maps. Mm-hmm. Like Hanamura and King's Row. Actually, not Eichenwald. Gibraltar.
Yeah.
It's almost like I know they're going to get this, but the longer I make them Well, maybe less
wait.
for Kings. Yeah, the more I suck out of that time bank, the better off we're going to be. It seems like people are doing that Hanamura. Yeah, we know this bunker comp's not going to work the whole time, but if we get them down to like under a minute, we did our job.
Exactly.
And then just you go on a point, because the point B on Hanamura is so much more of a defensive hold kind of thing.
Yeah.
At least for me, it always has been. It always feels that way.
And it definitely is in the league too.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
I mean, there's so many times where you can roll through, like, you can get rolled on the first point and then hold for like 6 minutes on point B of that map.
God, that's exhausting. I've done that a few times.
It really is. Same.
It's like, why couldn't we have just held them for like a minute more?
No kidding. But yeah, again, like the Gladiators' defense on that map was ridiculous. And then on Gibraltar, we had Seoul push through with just a really good secondary attack on the second run through. And then a really good defense on their side to hold them out. And it was, I mean, they just played really, really well on that map to force the game 5.
Yeah, well, it's hard on that map to get any kind of time bank.
Yeah.
Anyway, like when you get into the other rounds, and I'm just talking like ranked. This is one of those ones. If you finish it, it's like yay.
Yeah, right.
Whatever time I got, we'll deal with that because we just got to get out of spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least get
it around this corner. Get the first point. Something
through that hideous fucking dip there.
Oh God,
I hate that thing. God, I used to like playing it with Symmetra when she had 6 turrets though. Oh, the good old days.
Pulling out the car wash.
Yeah, because people were dumb enough to fucking just sit a Bastion on the cart and not shoot him.
Right.
That was fun. No, but I really liked the way I like the way the Gladiators have been playing, and I forgot how good they were when they get to run DPS players.
No kidding! Oh my God!
And you forget
and they're just stacked with DPS, like between Decay, Hydration, and Surefour. Like there is not a character that they can't play at the highest possible level.
Yeah, and with Hydration, he has that Libero hero pool where he can pull out anything whenever you need it.
Right, and then you've got Decay, who, I mean, any kind of hit scan, he is just a god.
Yeah, and
Jesus Christ.
Same with Surefour's got a weird hero pool too.
He does.
I mean, he can do Tracer. He can do, he's really good at Widowmaker, but he can play May. He can play Sombra. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can play some of the trolley picks, which there's place for that stuff now because we're playing them. I think there were for instance, today I think Monte Cristo said, like after the match on Twitter between the Hunters and the Justice, he was like doing I think almost every hero was played in this match. I think he said except for Ashe and 2 other ones.
I'm gonna say Ashe and who was it? Was Torb played at all this week?
Yeah, Torb was played a lot actually.
Yeah, we got some Torb. We got
Symmetra quite a bit.
Symmetra.
Soldier.
There was Roadhog. Soldier. Yeah, I mean,
I'm seeing Roadhog back again.
Yeah.
Well, last year though, kind of with the pros, he just turned into an alt battery.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and, I know everybody's saying Goats is the way, but the problem is these guys are so good on Diva now that the Graviton a lot of the time doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then the play of the supports is so good that the Grav Bomb combo thing doesn't happen. So it's almost like, why are we even playing this?
Right.
I think for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's not like when it was like the double sniper with Brigitte, when you had the ridiculous Hanzo power up, and he would just melt the entire team with his ult.
Yeah, the Dragon Grav.
Yeah, that literally no one could stop.
Yeah, at least, but that got into you have to eat the grab.
Mm-hmm.
But
exactly.
no one was doing that back then.
Right.
And that was like literally last May.
Right.
Way back then. So did you pull anything else out of this? Out of this match, other than I think both teams
really good teams. Honestly, like Seoul has continued to impress me and shows that they are a top tier team. But the Gladiators this week were just better. Yeah. And I think the Gladiators were also very determined to beat Seoul because of the Fissure thing and because of how good Fissure has played against them.
Yeah.
Since he was traded, and then just in general, like, so I think
this wanted to end the Fissure thing.
Monkey off of their back.
I think they wanted to end the Fissure thing. Just kind of all right, we're done.
Yes, exactly.
You know, everyone was hyped to beat him. Okay, now they're just another team, and he's another guy.
Yeah.
Which, you know, at a certain point, you kind of have to do.
Yeah. So
unless you're Fissure, and then you just use it as some kind of he's like Arya Stark.
He really is. He's like, you're on my list now.
Yeah. Every day he goes to bed.
I'm gonna say your name before I go to bed.
Gladiators, Spitfire. For the fight, what's he on, Kangdu Panthera?
Yeah.
Why are you saying all those names, Fissure, before you go to bed? They're on my list.
Now it would be Hangzhou.
Yeah.
Alright, so one last little thing before we go tonight. There was a teaser dropped for the
potentially
we don't
the
even
new
really know. Yeah,
the
probably
archive event.
Archive event, yeah. So there was a news article from a Havana, Cuba newspaper, kind of talking about Dom Robotico, which the more I look at it, the goofier of a name it is.
Don Rombotico.
Yeah.
So it's like Omnic Robot Rum.
Yes. Pretty much.
And he looks like Bob with a different hat.
He really does.
Maybe it's Bob's cousin. You know, like Snoopy had the cousin.
It feels like Zenyatta in disguise. Like he put a hat and a mustache on and like a trench coat.
Maybe it was before Zen tried to clean himself up. He was just this drunk dude.
When he was on the run.
He was this drunk dude living in fucking Havana making rum. Smoking cigars. And he's like, man, I gotta clean my life up.
Yeah, I mean, so this didn't really give us anything. It's kind of a interesting little teaser.
There's some things in there, though. Yeah,
there's definitely some things, but I don't know enough about the lore to really even know what the hell is going on.
I'm better with the lore because I get into that shit. What I'm thinking is along the lines of, so I think Baptiste is going to be involved because it's the Caribbean. He was in Tortuga, which geographically it's in the Caribbean. I think it's close to Cuba.
Yeah.
It was a big pirate island back in the, literally the, Long John Silver,
right.
Yar pirate days. But after reading the article, a big company bought Don Rombotico and made it this national brand. So they Budweisered them to a small brewery in America, or a niche distillery got bought by Smirnoff or something like that. Which is what the general public thinks, but what it is they took over. I think they said there's a ancient fortress, a historical fortress on the docks that that was bought. So that it is screaming Talon,
right?
Because I don't think Overwatch would buy it and set up a base and just try and filter money in. So you have that. I mean, it's looking like a map, and we're thinking it's a hybrid.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be a hybrid just based on how things are.
The sequence.
Yeah, the sequence that we've had up to this point, which I'm all for, because Hybrid's the best map,
Yeah.
best map type in the game.
It's probably going
So
to...
I'm very excited about that. And if it is an archive event, then I'm even more pumped, because every archive event has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to see what they do with it this year.
Yeah, I would love to see... I like it when they have the older characters. I want to see some, like, new shit. Like, I want to see, like, your two supports, maybe Baptiste Moira.
Mm-hmm.
Or unless you go Overwatch.
I mean, hey, maybe we could get some info about Zenyatta, maybe some of his origins on this too.
Yeah, I really would like some Zenyatta back.
Yes, for sure.
That'll probably be on one of their... It's kind of like, what's everybody screaming for? Everybody wants Zenyatta lore, because everyone was screaming about Diva lore.
Yeah.
And then there'll be something teased in there that a year down the road they'll be like, oh yeah, that's a new character. You're just dumb and didn't see it. Like Brigitte. And now everybody hates her.
Exactly.
I really just... Because I'm being a dick and I'm almost kind of maining fucking Wrecking Ball. I'm like... yeah, I'm gonna start picking up Brig. She's
right.
Not in my ranks, she's terrible. I don't know how people even play her.
Oh, God, right?
I mean...
Because you hack somebody and people be like, fucking Sombre's throwing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my
I've
God.
hacked 20 people, you just are dumb and can't shoot them.
Right.
I mean, if you look at... guys, this is like a weird meta thing. This was quick play last night. I mean, we won 2 matches. I was playing Wrecking Ball. And what was the rest of the comp? You were playing Anna in one. We had Ash. We have Ash, Soldier, Hanzo, something, and a May. The one on...
Oh, yeah. What was that? God. This is so weird.
It was like an absolute...
We had no business winning, but we steamrolled.
That's the thing with these changes they made. It's been awesome.
Oh, yeah. Like, you're getting comps that, like, you have no business doing anything with, and then you roll. It's like, oh, hey, we have 2 healers, 4 DPS.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that works. Or the only tank you have is a freaking Wrecking Ball.
Or a Diva.
And then you have 1 healer and 4 DPS.
Yeah. It was like either a Wrecking Ball or a Diva.
Right. Sometimes both.
Yeah.
If you're really lucky.
And that's fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's great. I love that comp.
But let's wrap this up, because it's getting late. Just a programming note before we wrap it up. You guys know we're big Game of Thrones fans. We're going to push back to 11 Eastern Time for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple episodes. They're going to be an hour and a half. And, yeah. I'm sure you guys understand. And we also work sometimes on Sunday night. And you guys are on the internet. You're not going to... You have to watch it before anything. It just has to be done.
Before you can do anything else. Yeah.
Including this, which we love to do, but...
Yeah.
It's the last season of Game of Thrones. It has to be done.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. And all of you guys that are going to see us on YouTube, thank you very much. Don't forget to hit a like, hit a subscribe. And anyone that is listening to us in the podcast version, please rate us on iTunes and wherever you
whichever podcast catcher thing you're using.
Yeah.
Give us a rating. It helps us a lot.
That would be fantastic. We also have a Patreon page if you guys like to support us. I'm going to start watching Mayhem matches, and I will...
Losing your mind?
Yeah. I'm going to start doing them. I'm trying to get better at VOD reviewing, so why not pick the worst?
Right.
And those will be up on there. Kel's going to do some stuff probably in the future, and we're both going to be doing some weird shit, and there'll be some outtakes.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, please, if you'd like to support us, Patreon page is going to be down below in the description and all that stuff. Thanks a lot, guys, and we will see you with our power rankings. So, get ready for the power rankings. They're going to shift again.
Yeah.
I just hope there is
dramatically.
The only thing we're hoping for is not a giant meta shift, so we don't have to rearrange everything again.
Right.
I think this has been good so far, even though it's been 1 week. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We will talk to you later. Have a good one.
Catch you guys in the next one. Later.